So this little tutorial is all about how to take your body measurements. The best starting point for any dressmaking project is to have a really accurate list of your body measurements in key areas like bust, waist, hips, and sometimes things like back length will come into it as well. We're going to run through some top tips of how to take those key measurements to make sure any dressmaking project you have gets off to a great start. So the start of any successful dressmaking project always relies on some accurate measurements being taken before you set off, before you size the pattern, before you cut into any fabric. The three key measurements that you will usually see on the back of your pattern packet are bust, waist and hip. You can sometimes also have a back length measurement as well, so that enables you to get a better fit along the back, whatever height you are. And we're going to run through how to take those measurements nice and accurately. And it's always a very good idea to do this process at the start of each dressmaking project. Body sizes do change over time, so even if you don't remeasure every time you make something, every 6 months or so is a good idea to make sure that you're updating your measurements as you go along. The first measurement that we're going to take together is our bust measurement. We take our tape measure round pretty much in line with where your bra strap would go, and bring your tape measure across the very fullest part of your bust. Now, when you're sizing up, make sure you're not breathing in, breathing out, doing anything not as normal as it could be with your body. Just have a nice relaxed posture and have your head up when you're taking your measurements. As soon as you put your chin down, you start to draw your shoulders in and your chest in, which can actually change the measurement a little bit. So keep your head up. Bring your tape measure round so that it's a snug fit, but not squeezing in anywhere. And then once you have the tape measure nicely in position, then look down to note down what measurement you have. Once you've taken your bust measurement, jot that down, and then what you're going to want is a waist measurement. Now, the waist measurement is sometimes a little higher than people would normally think. It's not down where your jeans are sitting, it's actually up at your true waist. And the easiest way to find the level of that is to just lean over to one side, and you will feel a little crease just digging in at the side of your waist, and you can lean the other way, see if you can find it over there as well. And it's where that little crease falls that you want to take your waist measurement. In dressmaking terms, that's what's called the true waist. So up at the true waist, you take the waist measurement. Again, the tape measure doesn't want to be squeezing anything in, and you don't want to be breathing anything in. That'll just cheat you out of fabric you might need later. And you want to have your head up again as well, not curving your body inwards looking down, but have your head up nice and straight. Position up the tape measure so you can feel it's nice and snug, and then look down and see what measurement you have. The hips is the final measurement that you'll normally see on the back of the packet. And just in the way that the waist is sometimes a little higher than people might think, the hip measurement is sometimes a little lower than people might think. So you're actually looking to ensure you've got the tape measure at the very, very widest part of the hips. So it's no good taking your hip measurement up here, because as you can see, there's a bit more room that I'm going to need behind here. You want to take your hip measurement right down, and if you move the tape measure down and it's still needing more, getting bigger, then chances are you're trying to take your measurement too high. Keep moving that tape measure down until you can feel that it's not going to get any wider. It's actually starting to begin to get smaller again as you come towards the thighs. So taking that measurement, again, standing up nice and straight, and then looking down to see what measurement you have. So that's the bust, waist and hip measurement that we've taken. The final one that I mentioned earlier is the back length, and that can sometimes be quite useful if you know that you have a particularly long torso or a particularly short torso. You may need to make some adjustments to the back length of the pattern to bring it up or down accordingly. So to take your back length measurement, what you want to do is place your tape measure on just the little bone at the top of your vertebrae there, at the top of your backbone. You pop the tape measure there and you pull down with your hand to get the measurement that's right at that true waist. That's where the back measurement is measured down to. So at your true waist, which is the same level as that little crease we looked for earlier, pop your thumb on the tape measure, push it towards your back so you know you've got just the right place, and then you can let go of the other end, come round and have a little look at the tape measure where that's falling. So you then have your bust, waist, hips and your back length, and you are ready to start sizing up and looking at your pattern. Having those measurements is the best starting point you can get for any kind of dressmaking project, so make sure you take them and make sure you refresh them on a regular basis.